How's it going, everybody? Welcome into another video. I'm Carl and this is Waterside for Adventures. So we're out in the Ford Focus Titanium today. Something a bit different. The Astra's off the road at the moment, having some work done, getting ready for its new MOT. So I'll be driving this one for a little while, just getting us out and about, normal stuff. So I come through Potter Heigham late last night while working, and just sort of had a little look around, and everywhere was absolutely flooded again. All the flood barriers are up and the water was centimetres from going over it. So all the front is all full, car parks starting to flood, Latham's and everywhere is all full of water again. The green in front of the little arch bridge, all full of water, very deep on the path. So I thought, right, today I'll sort of come down about an hour before sunset. Cool, look how bright that is. Woohoo! Can hardly see where I'm driving. Really bright sun. But don't be fooled, it's still -1, it's pretty cold. So, yeah, we're already driving down there. Just bear with me a sec, just get to the junction. And yeah, we're gonna whack our waders on, which I've got next to me. We're gonna take a look. Be very surprised if that's not still flooded, but you never know. But join me on the journey. Let's have a little wander and let's see what we can find. Sound quality and stuff like that should be really good now. Just gone through another upgrade, so you should be able to hear me, and even if that's 50-60 mile an hour winds, you'll still be able to hear me nice and clear. So we'll do the journey. It's not far down the road. I'll spin you around, let you have a little look around. We'll get parked up and we'll see where's full of water and where's not, and see what's happened. So we're just heading down the main road, not far down here, and then we'll take a right and we'll be in Potter Heigham. So it's not far at all. The sun is really bright at the moment, but it won't take long for it to start going down. Got a lot of water in the fields and stuff to the right hand side of me, not so much to the left. Got a little bit of blue in the skies today, but a lot of grey too. But for this time of year, that's not a bad day. As I said, we've got -1 at the moment. Overnight we had sort of -3, -4. Everything froze up. My pond at home in my garden and stuff was frozen solid. I think that still is now. Things at work and stuff, all the screens and roofs of the cars and everything else, all got layers of ice on them, everything's frozen solid. So that makes things fun. Strange, and looking at the sun, you would think this is a sort of early summer's day, you know, sort of springtime, that sort of down. It's definitely not. What we'll do is we'll come in from the far end of Potter Heigham. So we come over the little bridge, we'll be able to see if it's actually flooded out onto the road at the moment. So that's going to take a bit to, that's going to have to keep coming over to fill all the fields and everything up again, but we're about to go past them, so I'll be surprised if they're full again. But I won't be surprised if they've actually got some water in and started to fill up again. Everywhere had settled down quite well, and you can sort of see the grass and that in the fields again, but if we carry on getting these tides again, they're just going to fill up again. Just looking on the left hand side here, there's a bit of water in them fields, but nothing too crazy. Oh, I can see a bit more than everyone else, and that's well over its banks. So we've got plenty to look at. Well over its banks. Fields to the right are starting to fill up. Fields to the left are starting to fill up. Yeah, there's plenty of water coming in. Thought that would be the case, hence doing the video today. I get lots of messages and stuff in the background saying, when's your next one? Can we have some updates here? Can we have some updates there? I'm trying to get onto them as quick as I can. Got some flood signs out, but the road's not looking too bad. There's been some water on it by the looks of things, but it's clear at the moment. The fields and stuff to the left and stuff are starting to fill up with water. The little streams that go through the middle and stuff are frozen solid by the looks of things. Just looking at this side of the day about high, it's right up the top here, the top of this road. So that's a long way up. I think what we'll do actually is we'll pull in here. It doesn't really matter too much where we park as long as we're allowed to park there, which we can here. And let's get the old boots on and get out there and see what's happening. It's definitely high. So as you can see, we've got pure ice. It's all around the edges as well. Nice and crunchy. Tire's just off the edge here, but as you'll see as we walk around a bit, it's definitely well over the edges. So let's have a wander through the ice. Okay, let's have a look, see what we can find. Lots and lots of ice. Very crunchy as well, as you can clearly see. As we go around here, you can already see the water, and it's actually freezing down in these corners. It's actually in the Broad, as you can clearly see. This end of the Broad here is actually frozen. But around here, we're in the depths again. I think we're actually deeper than we were last time around here. You can see the moorings under the water there, but we're well above that. And obviously it's gone well into the buildings again. You see all the ice around the edges, and where it's burst its banks into the fields and stuff like that. All them areas are frozen as well. Crunch, crunch on this ice. Where it's all in the ditches, they're all frozen. They're bagged up all around the sides, but I would say the water's going in under the doors there. Certainly plenty in here. Hasn't reached the front doors around there at the moment, but it's not going to take too much. Don't want to walk off into the side there. There is a slipway under there, so not going to go off onto the edge of that, hopefully. Otherwise we're going to disappear under. Ooh, up onto the grass. You can see the edge there and see where the slipway is off the edge. If you walk any further, you end up going straight down, which we don't want to do. As you can see by the moorings and stuff. Platforms along the edge are well over. The water's well over. Strong enough to walk along. Car park's got a fair bit in. Definitely well over these edges, and all these moorings are well underwater. Ladders disappearing under the water down there. Sort of back to square one down here by the looks of things. This is actually deeper than it was last time by the looks of things. Well, it is on these edges, that's for sure. We'll go a little way down here, as you can clearly see, there's plenty of ice forming on the edges. Not going to walk too far this way because we know pretty much what we're going to see along here. It's just going to stay like this all the way. Then when you get to the end there, the homes will be flooded. We'll just walk up to this sign and then we'll explore some other spots and see what they're like. Don't really want to repeat a video I've made before, sort of thing. It's pretty deep on these edges. Chirping his boat, I reckon he's pretty cold at the moment. All these edges are well over. Cool, that wind's absolutely freezing. My hands are like ice. Down the bottom end there is exactly what I was expecting. There's actually more water in here than I think what I've shown last time. I was in the area showing the flooding. Again, it's all started to freeze where it's coming over. Just by looking at this water here, you can see the depths we're going to get in there. They're going to be pretty deep. I can see it from here, how far it goes down. Whee! Near level depths, pretty much all the way along the path by the looks of things. And so I'm not going to walk down the path today because there's other areas I want to go and explore. Gardens got plenty of water and stuff in, as you can see, and that'll be the same all the way along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on back down to the bridge. We're going to go down the other side of the bridge. And then we're sort of going to go from there really and see what's on the other side. I'm pretty sure that'll be well over the edges on the other side. Over on that side it's gone over the edge, but it's not terrible. It's up to the wall, but it's not as full as it is here. And all this water we've got just sitting here. So I'll get down the other end there and I'll cut you back in when I get back down there. Just thought I'd bring you back in while I'm walking along the back here. There's a fair bit of water sitting in the back here as well. Fields are not covered, but there's plenty in the back like there. If you look on the side of the reeds and stuff, you can see us being in much higher overnight. I wish I could have filmed it last night really, but it's very hard to do in pitch black in the middle of the night. Most people watch these videos sort of during the day really. You never know, I might do one where I sort of show the full depth in the middle of the night at some point. So I'm going to cross the road here and we're going to have a look in the car parks. We're going to have a look down at the next bridge. We're going to look across the road there, the other side of the bridge there, where everyone sit on the benches. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Pretty deep in that car park, really. I'm walking on the mud on the sides at the moment because it's frozen solid. It's making it much easier for me to walk on. So we're back around the front. Don't walk off that edge or you'll disappear down. Across the road there's the old chip shop. It's open and they're not flooded out, which is good. You keep their business running as normal. But a little car park round the back, that quite often floods out and gets quite deep, so we'll have a quick look in there. God, my hands are like icicles, I can hardly hold me filming gear. There's definitely been some water in here, but most of it's drained out and it's froze over. I'm going to say that's still quite deep, but it's all froze. This is all ice. I'll show you from behind. Whoa! It's actually quite thick ice for one night's worth of ice. Whee! Nearly went over. Quite hard to walk for us, actually quite thick. Oh, got a boat coming down the river. Cool to see. Not so cool to see it. This one here is sitting on the bottom, I'll show you that in a minute. I reckon it's pretty cold out there. Yeah, this poor boat's gone down and sitting on the bottom. Not too good. This is how thick the ice is already, just over a night or so. Quite thick, so I'm going to expect it to get even thicker tonight, because there's going to be minus 3 or 4 again tonight. As you can see on the edge of the Broad there, it's all flooding over already. As the tide comes up, we're going to get more and more. Fences come down here from probably from the water coming in and out, so we'll step over that, go back into the car park. I think what we'll do is we'll head down to the bridge on this side, back for all this ice, and we'll see what we've got there. The bits of ice are crazy. Never seen this frozen up before. And that gives you an idea of how big the bits of ice are that I'm moving. Quite a big sheet of ice there. And that's the whole car park's like that. Right, let's wander down this way and see what's happening down here. And so at least it's not up on the road here and flooding out the old chip shop. You can see they're all open. Looks like they're cleaning up and getting ready to open this evening. I think we'll go this way today actually. I can see sort of down there the fields isn't doing too much. There's a bit in there but nothing to sort of worry about too much. I reckon going this way that'll probably be flooded into the boatyard. I can hear pumps and stuff going, so they're clearly trying to pump it out somewhere. You can see where the overflow of the Broad is coming down that stream there. God, my hands. Literally like holding my hands in the freezer. They're that cold. Old vintage tractor, quite cool, and vintage crane there as well. Got a boat runner, nice. As you can see, the whole yard's all flooded out. These are all the hire boats you'll see in the summer. And this is actually fairly deep. It's going under all the doors and stuff into the units. The water is running this way, it's just coming down from the river. It's literally going over the top as we speak. Got a little river running that way. We'll have a look at that on the way back. Under the bridges, completely and utterly full and quite deep, to be fair. Quite a strong smell of diesel. The Broads are well over the edges. On this side, this is the Broad, that the side of the road that every time I say the sides are going over, that one side, this one goes over pretty much every single high tide. It just keeps going over and over every single time at the moment, so there's still quite a bit of water laying around. It basically goes across here, which is fairly deep. Fills up all this sort of side ditch, way up over this bank, down under these gates, and starts to fill up the fields. And as you can see, there's water in the fields again. They're not by any means full or like they were before yet, but if this keeps coming over like that, I mean, here the depths here are pretty deep on the edges. If it just keeps coming over, isn't going to take too long for the fields to start filling up again. So I think you get the idea of what's happening along here. It's the same all the way down to the green sign there. It's just going over all the way along, really. Right, next up is to go right back around the road and cross the river, go down the other side and see what's happening down there. As you can see from just walking up here and walking back down, this area is filling up really quickly. A lot of this is probably going to ice up overnight. This will probably go up and over that edge and start filling up down the side there and into the fields. So we'll go this way this time, and as you can see, us still dug its own little route. The more it goes down here, the more it digs its own little route out. It's quite deep now, to be honest. The route that's dug out, there's only a trickle of water going through, nothing too crazy, but it don't take too much to start filling up the field. And if it just keeps doing that for hours and hours and hours, before you know it, the fields are 2, 3, 4 foot deep. This field to the left here, you can see the ditches are full. It's not going to take too long now. By the looks of it, they're now starting to burst and fill up that field over there. And as you can see, That field's on its way and starting to fill up. Right, I'm gonna walk around the other side and I'll see you around there. Got a nice sunset happening in the background, so I'll keep you on until we get up over the little bridge here. Always good to see them. The colours in the sky, the oranges, the reds, the pinks, purples. Moon's up there. Just got a little quarter moon today. You can see it all happening in the background over there. Look at all the colours. Lovely. And sometimes that goes down and you get a lovely afterglow. Even the algae's all frozen down there. Right. This ain't a bad spot to stop for a second. Just watch that sunset go down, watch them colours. See all the boats and stuff in the foreground. Quite nice. Very relaxing, but very, very cold. So as you can see on the bit where people sit on the benches, got water all in the area, and it's actually all frozen underneath the benches and stuff. All this area, it's all frozen solid. Yeah, pretty slippery. I have got grips on my boots, so got metal spikes on the bottom of them. So it sort of makes a difference, but even the footpath where it's deep, say that. All these areas are deep, as you can see. If we go over to the footpath, most of this is just frozen solid. Oh, makes it very hard to walk along. Ouch. It's fairly thick. Thick enough to make it very hard to walk on. And then when you get to here, it turns to water. But as you can see all the way through there, that's all just thick ice. All the way along here, if I walk this way just a few steps, straight back to thick ice. Very different. Not very often you see any of these areas iced up, let alone full of water. The actual banks on this side are still got probably half a foot before they're going to flood again. A lot of this water comes from the other side. Oh, this is thick, hard work to walk on. Does get quite deep out here. Oh, my hands are, as you can see, they're bright red and they're hurting. They're hurting a lot. This person's garden's all starting to flood out again. Try and get down to the opening bit where the little picnic area is and see what's happening down there. It's starting to get sort of late in the afternoon now. Sun's going down. Things are getting duller. Oh, fish. I think it was a little perch. Swirling under the bridge there. That's obviously getting through, because obviously the bridge and the river are just joined at the moment. The water comes straight over. So there's probably a few fish swimming around in that lot. But just going to have a look at the end of this fence up here and see what's happening around the corner over there. This path is sort of halfway up a pair of wellies, normal wellies. It's nothing too crazy yet, you can still get through. They're the fields that were absolutely underwater for 6 weeks, 8 weeks recently. You can see there's a bit of water there going back in there again. And they're just mud now, they're just bogs of mud. But as you can see, it's all happening again. Oh, I can't feel my hands. Yep, they're coming over. Slipway's completely flooded. Completely over. It's over in the corners over there. It's now coming over the top along here. And the whole picnic area is frozen solid. Crazy to see all this ice. It's not too thick at the moment, but I bet you over the next saying that, I can hardly walk for it, nearly tripped on it. Just thick enough. It's enough to hurt my feet through the boots, put it that way, so it's fairly thick. Yeah, it's quite deep really for the area. It's just off the sides at the moment. But it's coming up at the moment, so tiny little touch. As you can see, it's straight over. The opposite side, that's all well over and well over. One boat in the moorings over the other side there. Moon's in the sky. Sun's going down in the background. And we have a very, very icy picnic area. Cool. Surprising how hard it is to walk through ice, because your feet go through and then that gets stuck under the next layer. And as you go to lift them, it hurt. There's plenty along here, as you can see. When we get down to the end, we're going to have a look around some more of the area. I know where there's some very, very deep flooding, so we'll go there next and see how that's faring up. Well, you won't see this very often. This whole area is full, but it's iced solid. You can hear when I'm walking on it, it's crunch, crunch. These are the flood barriers. You can hear the water coming through, so there's a bit of water underneath, but as you can see, a fair bit of depth in there, way above normal wellies, and frozen solid all the way up. Got water pouring through and running into the drains down here. The car park seem to be okay at the moment, but many more tides like this and that definitely won't be. Again, it's rock solid and down to my knees. Pretty bad. Because we get some more tides like that, it's got nowhere to go next time. It'll just start filling up the fields again. Very unusual to see the Broads Haven area full of water and then iced over as well. It's quite crazy to see. Goes as far as you can see, basically all the way along that wall down there. Obviously not on the grass there, but all along this side. And then up to the buildings up the top there. Quite crazy, quite deep, and a lot of water. Let's see what happens over the next few days. I'll keep you updated. If it gets 10 times worse and start covering all this grass and the rest of it and all the fields, and we'll carry on and update that. Right, I'm going to cross the road over here and have a look what's happening down behind the ice cream shop and places like that. See if that area is good. Like I say, the car park in here is not too bad at the moment. It's very slowly starting to fill up. As you can see, to the right hand side of the flood barrier there, it's trickling through and then filling that area up. There's a bit over this side, which I think is just frozen solid. I don't think there's much water there. Let's have a look. Pretty much solid ice. Yeah, we'll Latham's fishing shop over there and the burger van. And you've got the famous discount store that a lot of people go in. Flour and Bean restaurant. Right, so this chap needs to slow down. Coming through down about 60, I reckon. No need for that. It's looking okay, to be honest. Normally this road floods right out, so there's not much there today. There's a bit of water at the back here. Normally that whole road floods out, so it's looking okay there at the moment. I'd say some areas are good and some areas are absolutely piled over and loads of water. Just have a little walk past the boats while we're going past here. You can still see just over the other side there, the other side of that little bridge. It's deep water and fully frozen. again, even in the actual main broad, all down this end, it's frozen solid. I'm not going to step my foot in that one because I don't want to end up in there, but it's pretty rock solid. It's filling up more on that side, as you can see. As the minutes tick away, there's more and more water going in. Over the bridge. Let's have a little look off the top, there's no cars about. So as you can see, chap's filling up his boat full of stuff, getting ready to take it down to his houses further down the river. Coal and firewood and stuff like that. Whew. He's having great fun doing that in the ice and snow. So we're back in the car. I was fast, running out of light, and there weren't too much more I could show you, but I think you get the idea. Everywhere's flooding out, and then we're getting these minus temperatures, 3, 4 minus temperatures, and everything's freezing over. So we've got some quite thick ice down there really, which is unusual to see in them areas. Obviously you get on the concrete and stuff like that, but you never see like 2-3 foot of water and then a big layer of ice on top of it. It's quite strange to walk through and film and look at really. So, right, okay, I'm going to have a look at some other areas and see where I can film next, and I'll hope everyone's enjoyed the video. Please leave us a good old thumbs up if you did. Comment below. If there's any way you'd like to see, just let me know and I'll see if I can make that happen. I'm still going to do all the other stuff that people have commented about, like the seal trips and revisit Hemsby and places like that. I haven't forgot about any of that, it's just the weather hasn't been on my side to do anything. We had lots of rain, snow, ice, storm, really high winds, all sorts, so I haven't really been able to do some of the stuff I'd wanted to. So I've basically just been getting my head down, getting stuck into work and getting lots done. So I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for coming in. Bye for now.